Ever seen a hamster on a wheel? Cute little guy sprinting like he's got somewhere to be, sweatband on, earbuds in, motivational podcast playing in his fuzzy little ears. He's moving, hustling, burning calories, but he's not going anywhere. Now, meet Nathan. Nathan's not a hamster. He's a 30 human with a job, a gym membership he doesn't use, and a Netflix subscription he definitely does. Every day, Nathan wakes up, slams his alarm clock like it owes him money, drags himself to work, earns a paycheck, pays the bills, and by the end of the month, poof, it's gone. Every single month. He's been running on his own kind of wheel for years. And just like our fuzzy gym rat friend, Nathan is stuck, and he's not alone. Roughly 90% of people are trapped in this invisible hamster wheel. And spoiler alert, it's not because they're lazy or dumb. It's because they're playing a game they don't even know they're in. See, most people think wealth is about working hard. That if you just grind enough, eventually the money gods will bless you with a mansion, a Lambo, and one of those fridges that makes 2 kinds of ice. But the truth? Hard work is only half the story. The other half is the part nobody teaches us. Not in school, not in college, and definitely not from your uncle who still owes you $50. Let's go back to Nathan for a second. Nathan makes decent money, let's say $60,000 a year, but here's how his money behaves. His rent swipes $2,000 from his paycheck like a ninja. Groceries take another $500, more if he accidentally shops hungry. Car payment, insurance, cell phone, streaming services he forgot to cancel, gone, gone, gone. Then there's the coffee addiction. Don't come for Nathan's oat milk cold brew, that's sacred. By the time the month ends, Nathan's account is emptier than his motivation to cook. And every month he starts over. Why? Because Nathan's income is like a leaky bucket. No matter how much water he pours in, the holes, aka expenses, drain it faster than he can refill it. Now this is where it gets interesting. Imagine Nathan gets a raise. Cool, right? But guess what happens next? He moves into a nicer apartment, gets a newer car, buys the AirPods Pro Max Mega Ultra Deluxe. He tells himself, I work hard, I deserve this. And just like that, the bucket grows. But so do the holes. This is what economists call lifestyle inflation. I call it the congratulations trap. Congratulations, you made more money. Here's your reward, more bills. This cycle, work, earn, spend, repeat, keeps 90% of people stuck. They think they have a money problem, but what they really have is a money pattern. Now here's where Leah enters the story. Leah is Nathan's friend, same age, same income. But Leah treats money differently. While Nathan spends first and saves what's left, Leah flips it. She saves first and spends what's left. She calls it her anti-broke buffer. Every paycheck, Leah automatically moves 20% to savings, before she even touches it. Nathan laughs and says, you must be rich. Leah sips her tea and says, nope, I just don't trust future Leah to be responsible unless I tie her hands behind her back. Smart girl. But Leah's real secret? She doesn't rely on just one source of income. She has something called leverage. While Nathan trades time for money, 40 hours a week, paycheck in exchange, Leah builds little income machines. One is a digital course she made once and sells every month. Another is a dividend-paying stock she researched during a Netflix detox week. And another is a YouTube channel where she talks about budgeting with puppets. Yes, puppets. Point is, while Nathan's income stops when he stops working, Leah's keeps flowing, even if she's napping or binging old cartoons. That's what separates the stuck from the scaling. It's not about how hard you work, it's about how your money works. And for most people, their money is unemployed. Just sitting in a checking account like, yo, you gonna put me to work or what? Now let's get even realer. You know those rich habits influencers talk about? Like journaling at 4 a.m. or drinking mushroom tea? That's cute, but the number one thing that keeps people poor is this. They were never taught how to think about money. They were taught to earn it, not to grow it, multiply it, leverage it. It's like giving someone a seed and never telling them it grows into a tree. So they just carry it around forever like neat rock. Let me break it down. Nathan thinks money is a goal. Leah treats money as a tool. Nathan wants to make more. Leah asks, how can my money make more money? Nathan spends money emotionally. Leah spends it strategically. And no shade to Nathan, he's not broken. He's just following the default setting. The system teaches people to earn and spend, not to build and grow. That's why 90% stay on the wheel. Here's a weird way to think about it. If you drop Nathan and Leah into a video game, Nathan would collect coins and buy power-ups immediately. Leah? She'd save her coins, buy a coin factory, and start printing tokens while Nathan's still getting stomped by digital turtles. But here's the good news. This isn't about being born rich, lucky, or genius. This is about awareness. Most people stay broke because they don't realize they're in a game, or that the rules can be hacked. The first rule to change your game? Stop thinking like an earner. Start thinking like an owner. Owners don't just ask, how much can I make? They ask, how can I own the system that makes money? Want to know how Leah started thinking that way? It wasn't magic or a rich uncle or an MBA. It all started with one very specific moment. She was standing in line at a coffee shop, yes, the same one Nathan worships like a caffeine temple, and she noticed something. The barista was moving nonstop, brewing, blending, pouring, smiling. The line was long, the shop was packed, tips jar half full, and behind the counter above the espresso machine was a small sign. It said owned by Brewco Holdings. Leah Googled it. Turns out the coffee shop wasn't owned by the barista or even the shop manager. It was one of 50 chains, all owned by a holding company. That company made money from the baristas, not by being one. Leah's brain did a backflip. She didn't want to hustle harder, she wanted to own the machine. From that day, she decided she would stop being the worker inside the wheel and figure out how to be the person who builds the wheel. And that's when things started to change. Not overnight. Not I quit my job and now I'm on a beach sipping watermelon smoothies change. But small, strategic shifts. She stopped asking, how can I afford this? And started asking, how can I earn from this? She read books, watched videos, took notes, got confused, got unconfused. Her goal wasn't to be flashy, it was to be free. And while Nathan was still racing toward the next payday, Leah was learning to make $1 do the job of 10. And here's the wildest part. Most of us are one shift away from doing the same. But instead, we keep playing the same game, with the same cheat codes, wondering why we keep losing. Now, I'm not here to guilt trip you. In fact, let's be honest. Some of us were raised to believe money is bad, or rich people are evil, or poverty is noble. But none of that feeds your kids, or pays your rent, or buys your parents a vacation after they spent 20 years driving you to soccer practice and orthodontist appointments. Money's not the enemy. Poverty isn't piety. And being broke in a world full of opportunities, that's not destiny. It's design, a design that can be rewired. It starts with this. Treat your paycheck like seed capital. Not permission to upgrade your phone. Not proof that you made it, but raw material to build your own machine. Because once you see money as your employee, not your reward, you stop asking, how much do I have? And start asking, what can this do? And that question alone, it changes everything. Because suddenly you stop trying to survive the month and start building a life that pays you back. You start noticing the opportunities hiding in plain sight, the side hustle that becomes a full-time thing, the money app that actually earns you passive income, the boring-looking ETF that quietly snowballs into 6 figures. You start making micro decisions that compound well, I was gonna say interest, but that's a little too on the nose, don't you think? And speaking of compounding, Leah once said something that stuck with me. She said, every dollar is a little soldier. You can send it to battle for you, or let it wander off and party with its dumb friends. And that, right there, is the line that flipped the switch for me. Because most of us, we don't even ask our dollars where they're going. We hand them over to overpriced coffee shops, last-minute Amazon sprees, and gym memberships we ghost like a bad Tinder date. And we wonder why they never come back stronger. Leah, on the other hand, gives her money assignments. Hey, you $4, go into the S&P 500 and grow up. You $10, go pay down my debt, make me lighter. You $20, you go learn something, buy a book, take a course, get smart. She's not perfect. Sometimes she still DoorDashes fries at midnight. She's human. But the majority of her money, it's got a mission. Meanwhile, Nathan's money is on vacation, constantly. And that's not judgment, it's normal. That's what happens when you live in a world built on consumption. You're told that the next thing will make you feel enough. New phone, new shoes, new vacation, new scent that allegedly smells like sunset in Paris. But you don't need sunset in Paris. You need sunlight in your bank account. And that happens when you stop seeing money as a prize and start seeing it as a player on your team. Now let's zoom out. You ever hear someone say, "If I just made a little more, everything would be fine"? Cool. Let's test that. Let's say Nathan gets a new job making $85,000 instead of $60,000. That's a big jump, right? But he doesn't adjust his thinking. He adjusts his lifestyle. He goes from a Toyota to a Tesla, from Target to designer, from economy to treat yourself. And now he's back to square one. Only now he's broke with nicer things. We call this the income trap. It feels like progress, but it's just a higher step on the same stairwell to nowhere. The elevator out? Ownership, leverage, financial awareness. Leah understood this. She didn't start with a six-figure salary or a trust fund. She started by realizing that money has a job, and so do you. But your job isn't just to earn it, it's to employ it. And once she got that, she built systems. She automated savings, budgeted like a minimalist monk, invested in index funds that sound boring but grow like weeds in July. She bought a course on digital products, launched one that flopped, then launched another that didn't. She didn't chase 10 things at once. She went deep on one. Then she reinvested the profit into tools, ads, and mentors who were 2 chapters ahead of her. Was it risky? Sure. But you know what's riskier? Spending your entire life hoping someone else will pay you enough to live comfortably. The paycheck model, while stable, has a ceiling. You can negotiate a salary, but you can't negotiate your way into wealth. Wealth comes from scalability. Nathan works 40 hours, gets paid for 40. Leah builds an income stream that works while she sleeps. Nathan thinks about today. Leah plants seeds for next spring. Nathan's chasing comfort. Leah's chasing freedom. And it's not about being smarter, it's about being aware of the long game. The game no one teaches us. Because here's the hard truth. Most people aren't broke because they're unlucky. They're broke because they're stuck in consumer mode. You consume money instead of compounding it. You spend before you strategize. You react to money instead of directing it. And every time you do that, you give up a little more control. So how do you flip the script? Let's break it down with a mini cheat code. I call it the SALT method. No, not the kind you sprinkle on fries. This one doesn't raise your blood pressure, it lowers your financial stress. S equals save automatically. Set up an auto transfer the second your paycheck lands, even if it's $25. Out of sight, out of impulse buys. A equals acquire assets, not liabilities. That means things that grow in value or pay you back. Think index funds, rental units, skill sets, digital products. L equals leverage what you know. Don't start from scratch, start with what you already do or love. Teach it, package it, sell it, scale it. T equals think long term. If it won't matter in 5 years, don't let it wreck your budget to dopamine. Invest in the future you'll actually want to meet. Nathan doesn't know this method. Leah lives it. That's the difference. And look, if you've been doing things Nathan's way, join the club. Most of us have, because the system wants you to consume. That's what drives GDP. That's what fuels ads. That's why your phone listens when you say new shoes. But just because the world is loud about spending doesn't mean you have to be silent about building. You can learn, adjust, pivot, grow. Money isn't a mystery, it's a behavior. And behaviors can change. Remember that scene in The Matrix? When Neo sees the code? Suddenly everything that looked normal is just data. And once he sees it, he can dodge bullets. That's what financial awareness feels like. You start seeing the system, the ads trying to bait your wallet, the lifestyle traps in every Instagram post, the difference between rich-looking and actually wealthy. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. You stop saying, "I can't afford that," and start asking, "Is this helping me build freedom?" You stop measuring success by income and start measuring it by options. Like, can you take a break if your body says stop? Can you say no to toxic jobs? Can you move cities, switch careers, help your family, support a cause without checking your bank balance in a panic? That's real wealth. Not just how much you have, but how much you control. Leah knew that. Nathan's learning it. And you're next. So in conclusion, if 90% of people stay poor, it's not because they're lazy or cursed or lacking motivation. It's because they've been taught to be consumers instead of builders. Because they confuse high income with financial independence. Because they treat money like a reward instead of a responsibility. and because they never learned how to think like Leah, strategically, patiently, and long-term. But now you have. And maybe you're not Leah yet. Maybe you're still a little Nathan. We all are. But if you can start seeing your dollars as soldiers, if you can ditch the hamster wheel for a blueprint, if you can build systems that grow while you sleep, then you're already ahead of 90%. The rest is just compound interest and time. If you want me to make other videos explaining these topics, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.